In this video, we are going to look at predictive programming, and I will show you once again how everything connected with Donald Trump is a script, a pre-written script. We had this documentary in 2016 by the BBC called Paxman on Trump and Clinton Divided America. In 2022 we have a divided America. So this is Jeremy Paxman, and he talks about how the conflict between Trump and Hillary, and in this program it predicts everything that's happened, and it's full of predictive programming, and it's full of Satanism and 666 references. Remember that the BBC is famous for hiring Jimmy Savile. The BBC is a satanic organisation. My guess is anybody who has had a full-time job at the BBC has had to be a Mason. Now let's look at this predictive programming. The program starts with Paxman visiting Lincoln's memorial. There are three famous things about Lincoln. One is that he was shot. So this is predicting that Trump will get shot. Remember that Lincoln was shot by an actor in a theatre, okay? Lincoln is famous for the story of the Leonid meteor storm. In 1833 there was an intense meteor storm and people thought the world was going to end. Lincoln had a look outside and he said, no, it's just a meteor storm, the world's not going to end. This is predictive programming that America is going to be hit by a meteor. This is shown in many films. It's all predictive programming. The event will be man-made. A meteor strike is very easy with today's technology to fake, as we see with the Chinese rocket which re-entered the atmosphere, the fragments. So he's famous for the meteor storm, getting shot, and the Civil War. We have now, with this raid on Donald Trump, a divided America and threats of civil conflict. So let's play some of the clips and I'll show you the predictive programming.
Abraham Lincoln was the greatest president America ever had. He was earnest, he was a bit socially awkward, but he was visionary and he was heroic, and he earned the respect of the...
So that's him talking about Lincoln. This is an obvious reference to what's going to happen to Trump. Now we have a political analyst saying how Trump is an actor, and at the beginning of this program the theme is that Trump is an actor.
Single best social media campaigner of the generation, and he controlled the narrative on Twitter and on social media, and by having an absolute mastery of the press. He ran his own reality show for years. He understands how to do this in a way that is unprecedented.
Well, the press would be largely hostile, hasn't it?
Oh, give me a break. They love him. But at the beginning, it was just great fun. He was a reality show. He was the only
666.
interesting thing. He was running against a bunch of not very exciting characters, and sometimes being the tallest dwarf's okay. But the problem is, what if actually the tallest dwarf gets elected president of the United States?
Then it goes on to talk about Q. Remember, Q was not heard of at this time. In this show, it shows a theatre production called Q, which mocks both Hillary and Trump, and it shows you that it is all theatre.
So if you could please give a round of applause to our two nominees, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And opposing the tallest dwarf for the job of the world's most powerful human is a woman her critics call an establishment puppet. This election is ripe for parody, as the makers of the much-loved musical Avenue Q have discovered.
I don't know why people are so interested in my emails.
No, you see, that's the problem. That's the problem. She says one thing, and then she says another thing. She's flip-flops. She's a flip-flopper. She's a liar. You're crooked. You're a liar. You're a liar. Jen Bender directed the...
Notice the words, the name Jim Bender. In Freemasonry, like Matt Hancock, they always include sexual innuendos in their names. It is part of the Hellfire Club sense of humour. And you have this repeated in Carry On films. So you have here Avenue Q, a musical. It predicts the Q movement. It mocks it. This is before it ever happened in 2016.
When we were coming up for the script for this event, Trump is so easy a parody because he's like a puppet himself. He just says what he thinks. He's got so many things that are so easy to grab onto. Like, it's huge, it's fabulous.
It's fine, it's huge, it's huge.
I'm wondering, what is your stance on gay marriage? Well, Rod, it took me some time to get there, but I am all for same-sex marriages, and I hope every one of your gay fantasies come true.
Hillary was definitely harder because she doesn't have this sort of go.
So what it's showing you that it's all a script. Everything to do with Trump is a script. You are watching a TV program and his raid is a script. Now it goes on to talk about Reagan and how Reagan was an actor and how Trump is the next actor to be US President.
Ronald Reagan walked off the silver screen and into the White House. Donald Trump descended his golden escalator in the modestly named Trump Tower. But while Reagan launched a charm offensive, Trump was just, well, offensive.
So it shows you there that it is all scripted and that Trump is an actor. Now we're going to look at the most interesting part of this film, which predicts current events and is very important and is full of satanic symbolism. So here we go.
Whoever becomes president, they'll need the cooperation of Congress to get Washington working again. But the more toxic this election becomes, the harder that will be.
So it says, give a man a gun, he'll rob a bank. Give a man a bank, he'll rob the world. That is what's going on today. Predictive programming.
With America more divided than ever, it's not just the two candidates casting an unsparing eye over their opponent. He had to make a couple turns the hard way, but it took a half hour to get him up here, but it was worth the win.
So the program covers this art collective called In Decline. You have a statue of Trump. The statue of Trump, the naked statue, he is wearing a Masonic ring. Behind Trump you have an American flag, it's upside down, all the stars have fallen down into upside down pentagrams, and you have a figure with devil's horns. This shows you that the market is going to collapse, and it says In Decline. Okay, so you have a satanic figure in the background.
We were coming up somewhat of a life-size Donald Trump. He's a little taller, he's a little heavier, he's a lot lighter, but he's got about the same air mass to him, which is full of nothing. The protest are collected.
So it says, here's a satanic figure, in decline, naked Trump. Now watch this. Remember, DT is famous for Operation Warp Speed.
In decline, titillated America when their life.
So here you have MSK, which could look like mask, and here it says Jabba 666, and then you have the square and compass of Freemasonry.
Size naked.
Jabba. It says Jabba 666, square and compass of Freemasonry.
It's statues
Jabba
of
Jabba 666. I hope you can see that. Jabba 666, square and compass of Freemasonry. You have the satanic figure with the horns. All the flag, all these stars have fallen down into upside down pentagrams, showing you that there's going to be a crash in the market. He has devil's horns. DT is famous for Operation Warp Speed. Jabba 666. There. Jabba 666, square and compass of Freemasonry.
Trump.
Jabba 666. So the square and compass of Freemasonry. There. Jabba 666. In decline.
Appeared overnight in parks and streets. There are some liberties taken, of course, with the hair, the gut, and other extremities. All of the statues vanished the same day.
Now what it's showing you is that Trump has genital herpes, and this is another Masonic joke. The Masons, part of their humour is to have sexual innuendo in their predictive programming.
But now, thanks to our curator Stanley Soodle, one more has found a home in New Jersey. It delights thousands each day as they commute into Manhattan.
Here it shows Trump wearing a Masonic ring. So the ring has a square and compass on this ring here, if you zoom into it.
People laughing as they were driving by is the overall response we got from this. Essentially, this piece is a perfect metaphor for the way we see, from our side, Donald Trump's campaign. It's off-color, it's abstract, and it's a complete joke. There you go.
So what he's saying is that Trump is an act. Also, it is the emperor with no clothes. Now, you will notice that Trump has released a video, a promotional video, saying he's going to run again. And AJ says Trump is going to get shot. Now, the DT and AJ thing is all a script and it's just a Dallas episode, like I said in my last video. Now notice that in that predictive programming by the BBC, you had an art collective called In Decline. Now this is Trump's promotional video with his logo.